Hey everybody, it's Mr. Loose, and your technique of the week is sculpture genres. So, in art, as you know, we have lots of different mediums, and drawing and painting are not the only types of art that is out there. We also have three-dimensional art, and three-dimensional art is also just as broad as painting, but not so much in just the types of sculptures, but the materials that people use to create sculptures. And within sculpture, you basically have four different genres of classifying it. So, for example, the first type of sculpture genre is anything that is molded. And molded, as I'm showing on the picture on the left, is when you take something and you are manipulating it. You're changing it by molding it to create the work of art that you have on the right. So anything that is molded, an example would be clay, wax, paper mache, or plaster. So you take a material and you are changing it by having it mold or form into something that you want. This particular artist right here takes clay and he molds it to look like balloon dinosaurs. And it's made out of ceramic, but the way that he molds it, he creates this texture that makes it look as if it was like a plastic toy that you like a pool floaty, basically. That same kind of material. So it's molded, it's manipulated, like clay, wax, paper mache, or plaster. The second genre is casting. And casting is when you are modeling a sculpture, then making a mold out of it, and casting in metal or in another medium of your choice. So usually what artists will do if they're going to do the casting method is they are usually creating something out of clay or out of wax, and after they mold it, they then create a mold that can be used multiple times. It could be out of lots of different materials, but then once you create it, then you melt down hot metal and like bronze or gold or silver, and you get it really, really hot, and you melt it, and you pour it into your mold, and then it creates a giant sculpture or a small sculpture. But then with the mold, you can make as many or as few as you want. So you could make 3 of the exact same thing just by using that one mold. All right, so that is casting. The next genre within sculpture is carving. And with carving, that is when you are carving out or cutting and taking away from stone, wood, or foam. So you will start with a stone block or a block of wood or even foam, something soft, and you're chipping away, or you're carving like this guy is with a hammer and chisel, and you are carving out the design, much like this beautiful carved out sculpture to the right. The last genre in sculpture is assemblage, and assemblage is simply when you put bits and pieces together to make something new. So you have all of these different materials and you are assembling, you're putting them together to create a new piece of art. And sometimes this can be done with recycled materials. So if you were to take a bunch of, let's say, plastic water bottles, a piece of scrap wood, some string, a ping pong ball, and you put that all together to create a sculpture, then you are assembling. This artist here, she took broken pieces of furniture and scrap wood and things that she found in the dumpsters or saved, and she assembled them together to create these giant abstract sculptures. So she's taking different materials and putting them together. That is assemblage. Okay, so those are the 4 different types of sculpture genres.